But I've been wanting to bring this up the whole time, but you've got that Black Flag poster in the background.
That guy right there, yeah.
Yeah. Is that your favorite Assassin's Creed game?
Don't put me on the spot like this right now, man. I mean, okay, I will say, like, Ezio Trilogy, untouchable.
Fantastic, yes.
But as far as like standalones, probably Black Flag, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're more a fan of Edward than Connor?
Oh, far and away.
Really?
Yeah, you mean Assassin's Creed 3? Roten Hakedun?
Assassin's Creed 3, yeah, Connor's real name. Nice. Assassin's Creed 3 is like in my top 5 games of all time.
I mean, like, the setting is really cool, and they introduced a lot of new dynamics with it. I just couldn't get into it. The Connor's character as a protagonist. I mean, I get where the angst is coming from, obviously, but I guess part of it, and somewhere there exists footage of Mrs. playing Assassin's Creed 3 for the first time. When, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't played Assassin's Creed 3 and cares, the beginning where you play as Haytham, and you play through, and that's like an hour of playing, and then it's like, oh wait, this isn't who we're playing the whole game as? This was the bad guy? This is our dad? It was just, I don't know, it just felt like such a tease or something. I don't know.
That's the same reason that Kingdom Hearts 2 was like received really weird. Because you spend like the first 2 hours of the game playing as not Sora and Roxas instead, and then like after you're done making lunch money and shit for Roxas, you go back to being Sora, and people are like, "What the fuck?"
I will say too though, just off camera, and I think that lamp is in the way. Yeah, I've got Altair's sword.
Oh, sick!
And
yeah,
on an Assassin's Creed sword hanger, and then an eagle feather there too.
That's sick.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So, any hoozle.
I will circle back to this. The beginning of 3 is kind of a tease like that, but it's also in a very symbolic way. It's showing you that there's not many differences between the Templar organization and the Assassins organization.
I did appreciate that. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Because it makes you feel like, oh yeah, like this is the guy. Like you're coming in, you're trying to help out, but then also if you think about it just historically, like British guy in early like historical United States of America, like basically a colonizer. Yeah, definitely historically the bad guy, but it paints it in the beginning like, oh yeah, he's like helping people, he's helping citizens of the town, but like also that's like, the rich help the rich type of deal.
Right. We're stabilizing the economy.
Yeah, and then you get introduced to Connor.
if you own land,
you have to be a landowner.
that's it.
Yeah, and then not only that, like 3 has some of the best characters in it. Like Achilles Davenport is one of the coolest motherfuckers of all time.
100%. I like yeah, when Connor is chewing Achilles out about like, what have you done for me? And he's like, well, just return your armor and the weapons and the years of training that I gave you, and then you can fuck off and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, Achilles is amazing.
Achilles was tight, and I won't spoil the ending, but the ending of that game, I was literally crying my eyes out.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite Assassin's Creed game is?
Which one?
Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. You're welcome.
Technically, yes, it is a precursor to
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed, like the game mechanics and all. Yeah,
I'm not gonna argue that. Yeah.
Not to bring it way back to the before I was born.
Not to get nostalgic.
I don't think it was actually before I was born. It was after. It was definitely after. No. I just meant like old school.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
You were getting very sleepy.
Can I stop you for a minute?
Welcome back to Milktown.
There it is.
So today, Nate and I are joined by our guest. He is one half of the duo of Couple of Co-ops on Twitch. Today, we're introducing you to Mr. Couple of Co-ops.
Hey, that's my name, kind of. Sure, why not?
How would you like to be addressed today? Can we just call you Mister or?
That's fine. Sure.
Okay.
Can I call you like Senor or like is that like?
Well, yeah, sure. Whatever multilingual version of Mister you want.
Can I call you by my name?
Okay, Senor.
That might get confusing for the listeners, but if you want to, that's fine.
Do people call you Daddy often?
What would qualify as often? What sort of rate are we talking about there?
I'm talking like you come home from a long day at work and you just get down to business.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I can go with that.
You just watch Sonny's soul leave his body as I'm sitting here asking these probing questions.
Yeah, I went
to
full
you.
death cab for cutie with that joke. Yeah, so okay, I'm really excited about this. I pointed this out to Nate, but I got an actual office chair now. I have been using
It looks legit.
I've been using a power recliner and it's so much shorter than this. So now like my face is right next to the microphone, whereas before I was talking from like down here.
Oh yeah,
I remember that.
the audio quality, world's different.
Yeah.
Skyrocketing.
What's audio quality? Never heard of it.
Ew.
That's very fair. But yeah, so Mr. Couple of Co-ops, Mr. today. It's weird
Sure.
saying just Mr., but I'm gonna work with it.
Yeah.
Mr. streams on Twitch. What sort of stuff does your channel get into primarily?
Well, so we started with as one often does on Twitch, streaming video games. We did speed running to begin with of a little indie game called 39 Days to Mars, which is an awesome game. Shout out 39 Days to Mars. It's a fun like hour-long playthrough. But then the other half, the arguably better half of a couple of co-ops, misses a couple of co-ops who does a litany of fiber arts, crocheting and embroidery and knitting and all sorts of things. Started doing various crafting streams, and we got into that channel of Twitch and that whole community, and we started making more friends and more followers and connections like that. And so we do more of that, but I think the thing that makes us the most unique is the duality of it, the couple of co-ops. And so we will very often either do co-op gameplay or now co-op crafting, where she will work on embroidering or crocheting something, more physical fiber art side of things, and then I will either be doing the graphic design for her next project and getting the line art planned out for that, or 3D modeling accessories to go with that. So like the most recent thing that we did was she crocheted the dragon Haku from Spirited Away, and I 3D modeled and 3D printed his little scaly chicken feet, the dragon chicken feet of that.
I remember.
Yeah, those were really fun to do. So yeah, that's the elevator pitch for the Twitch stream.
And if anyone's wondering why I said bless you when he said Haku, it's they do a thing on their channel with a point redeem where it's fact or fiction, and my offering to that fact or fiction the other night was that every time they say Haku out loud, I say bless you out loud.
It's true, and so he is held to that.
I've been trying to, because I did. They were like, "Yeah, I hope it's true so bad," and then I was like, "Unfortunately, it isn't." I just thought it was funny, but now I'll do it.
I wanna live in a world where it's true. I wanna believe.
I thought that was a Mel Brooks reference. Chew, bless you.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
it has that same vibe.
did we ever tell you, Sonny, how co-ops and I met?
I haven't heard the story. No.
Randomly.
So it was at a cafe in Paris. We locked eyes.
Well, not that random.
Oh, sorry. No, never mind.
No, man, that's for remember off stream.
Oh, right,
That was the meet
right.
cute, not the
Be
online
careful,
meet.
man. Yeah. They found me randomly. I was playing Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, and they were like, a couple of co-ops is raiding. And I was like, who the fuck is you? But in a nice way. So like, who are you? Whoa, thanks for the raid. And then after that, I couldn't find them on Twitter, so I couldn't thank them. But I did follow them. And then they raided into me like 2 more times before I was finally like, okay, who are you?
Who are these guys creeping on my channel?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Who is you, boo boo?
And then from there, Sonny met me, and then Sonny met Mister.
Which,
Rest is
so
history.
ironically enough, when I came up with the idea to start my Twitch channel, I was like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to do crochet streams. I've never crocheted. I got an ad on, like a targeted ad on Facebook or Instagram for a company that like sells these little crochet kits. And I was like, oh, that looks like fun. I should get into that and just stream that because I think that my computer can handle it. So I got the kits and I got set up, started streaming GeoGuessr instead because apparently I have a hidden talent for GeoGuessr. And then, and then after Nate raided into a couple of co-ops one night, I was like, oh, wait, they're doing the shit that I want to do.
They're doing the thing.
It's like, I'm going to hang out. And then very quickly, I was like, no, these are like my type of people for sure. So now I try to make it to every stream.
Well, then see, it was so funny because I then would stumble into you streaming GeoGuessr because you did that for a while, and I just had fun watching you play it and help and backseating and trying to be the man in the chair and helping out.
The man in the van. You're like Wade from Kim Possible.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I actually watched a co-op stream, first or second time. The Nightbot was censoring people, so my job was to push it to see how far it could go before I either got banned or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see how cool Mr. and Mrs. really are. And I was just going at it in the chat. I was being nice and vulgar and gross.
It's true, he was. It's true.
They were like, we love it. Maybe a little too much. And I was like, all right, yeah. So I was like, all right, we're gonna be friends now.
Yeah, we had a stint where our Nightbot was a little overzealous with its censoring. But also it's hard because there's like context involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, I'm okay with him saying anal this time. It really depends on what word is on either side of that. But sure, we'll go for it.
The fact that your brain went, it depends on what's on either side of it is what gets me. Are you serious?
Yeah.
So yesterday they were streaming the first Monster Prom, and I can't remember what the setup was, but they all went "you" at the same time, like the very famous Soulja Boy song that we cannot sing because we're on Spotify.
I won't. I'll be good. I promise. I'm sorry. It was one time.
I commented in their chat. I go, "Damn, is Soulja Boy up in this hoe?" And I got censored by Nightbot.
Yep.
Then,
got that auto mod.
And Mister was like, "I'll allow it." It's like, I guess this hoe is a series of words that we allow now.
It's a permitted term, but specifically HO, not HOE. So if we want to talk about the gardening equipment, you're gonna have to.
The gardening equipment is HOE.
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm okay. I'm just making sure I got it right because I just finished using one. And after you use one enough, the joke becomes unfunny, but you also become unclear on how to spell things because your muscles hurt and you just want to go inside and drink water.
Yeah.
It's like that meme. It's like you'll never get anything done hoeing around like that.
I mean, there's that, and then there's the stud finder. That whenever any man that handles a stud finder is required to hover it over his chest and go, "Do-do-do-do," it's working. It's working.
So, dude, speaking of like stud finders for real, my brother gave me this little like handheld one that has a level in it, and he got it in a TV mounting kit. And I have an unused TV right now. It's arguably the best TV in the house because I bought it before I moved in here. But it's a 55-inch TV, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know where I'm gonna put this. Like, I don't want the dogs to be eye level with it because we have a big pit bull mix. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want him to bump into it and break my TV.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just mount it somewhere in the house. This house famously is not built on center. Like, all of the studs are not 16 inches. And if you're former carpenter here, most studs 16-inch centers.
Right.
I went into the bedroom and I was like, okay, where's an outlet that I could plug it into? I found an outlet that wouldn't mess with the flow of the room. And I was like, okay, let's look and see. I'll take the stud finder. I cruised across the whole wall.
First, you ran it over your sternum and went.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah, right here, and I'm unlevel.
Yeah.
And then I ran it across the whole wall. So it's like a 12-foot strip of wall. There are 4 studs in the whole wall, and if you do the math, 12 feet divided by 16 inches. It's more than 4.
Right.
Uh,
I back of the envelope calculations, I got that far, yes.
Yes. So there is one section where the studs are right, where there's 16 inches on center.
Wait, that's worse.
I know, but it's right next to the bathroom door. So like the master bath connects to the master bed. So it's like if I wanted to mount a TV in the room without completely tearing down the wall and like building scabs and everything, it's just right next to the bathroom.
Great.
So it's like for example, if my girlfriend and I were like laying in bed, I'm like, oh, I got to use the bathroom. She's like, I'm competing with the volume of the TV with any urine that I produce because it's right there.
Next time on Insert Crime Show here.
Commercial pops up for toilet paper. You're like, oh yeah, that reminds me. We're out in here.
A certain company with the bears is my favorite.
We're running dangerously low.
Not quality-wise, just the commercial itself.
Are we gonna have to tier list toilet paper this week?
God damn it! I hope not.
I will agree with Nate on the advertising side of things, only because they had one where the bear was dressed as Thor, and they said we've always been Asgardians.
Yeah.
Oh, that's genius,
right? It's like you win. Like I'm gonna go out and buy a roll just for that. Like the marketing has worked.
That's genius. Okay, this might be a little personal, but whatever. So, my girlfriend.
So when I'm wiping, what I prefer.
Dude, no, it literally is about wiping. So,
okay.
My girlfriend was buying 1-ply toilet paper, like
why
gas station quality toilet paper. She has her reasons. I won't share her reasons.
Okay, yeah, I don't need to know all that. I just wow.
But she has her reasons. I like to pamper myself.
Yeah, treat yourself.
I'm a 2-ply guy for sure.
I'm on a team bidet personally, but
we have a bidet, but we have to like reconfigure some plumbing to set it up.
Gotcha.
So not set up bidet, but we have one. I was telling her one day, I was like, "Why do you have this fucking 1-ply toilet paper? I feel like I'm gonna start cutting myself every time I go to wipe." And she's like, she's like, "I'm sorry, you're so soft." And I was like, "What? I'm not soft. I just like to take, like, I'm not gonna abuse myself because I have to shit." So she went out, she bought some toilet paper off Amazon. I couldn't tell you the brand, but it's 3-ply. She did it as a joke. It's incredible.
I bet. It's amazing.
It's the best toilet paper I've ever used.
How to accidentally your way into like a permanent purchase.
Yeah, for real.
Like now that I've had 3-ply, it's like having 2 monitors. Like you can't go back to one after. It's like
if I had my way, I'd have 16 monitors.
2 of them would always be running like beginner crochet tutorials.
You guys heard the phrase John Wayne toilet paper?
No.
Yes, I know about John Wayne toilet paper.
What are you guys talking about?
It's rough, tough, and it doesn't take shit off anybody.
I should hang up. Right now.
I mean, feel free to if you need to. I would understand.
It literally was a product you could buy, though.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But wasn't it like famously 1-ply though?
Yeah, like that's the thing, is it literally is. It is rough and is tough and will not remove the shit from you. It does not take shit off anybody.
This is awful.
Yeah.
But
the Duke. The Duke of Dew.
The Duke.
They call me the Mountain Duke.
No one's gonna see this, but I have no brand loyalty.
That's a barbershop ass drink right there, but I enjoy it. I'm not dissing it. I enjoy it just as much as you do. Just let you know, it's a barbershop ass drink. Don't bring it to the barbecue. We will scrap. I'm messing with you.
What? Dude, no, because I make good food. I shared a picture of what I made last night in couples Discord server.
Man. Those roast beef sliders? Good God.
I have a food section. Where's my coffee?
I can share it to you, but they were Cuban style roast beef sliders. So
I was prepared to drive to your house.
Oh wait, no, these are the ones you told me about. You told me about this yesterday.
Yeah, they were fire. I finished the last one this morning when I woke up.
I haven't eaten today.
What?
Just like that's like not the move when you're doing yard work, by the way. Definitely eat.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna go do that. I wanted to be here. You guys were ready. I was hyped. I wanted to be here. I'm here. That's why before this got live, Cherry looked into the camera and looked at me and then walked away. She's upset that I didn't eat this whole time, and I went to go sit down and do a podcast. So sorry, Cherry.
I mean, to be fair, a podcast is probably the worst form of media to have a hypoglycemia pass out, because we'll just hear like a thud. Like Sonny and I'll see you fall out of your chair, but the listeners will just hear the thud.
And all of a sudden, it's an audio drama.
Yeah.
Is this going to be like Jerry the King Lawler when he had a heart attack live on an episode of WWE Monday Night Raw? I was there for it. Michael Cole didn't know what to say because he was by himself in at the announce booth, just did someone just die next to me? He lived. He's fine. You've seen him recently.
First and foremost,
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, glad Jerry the King Lawler is all right.
Love him.
Secondly, could you imagine? I couldn't even imagine if I was sitting here doing the podcast and they just fell out on me. I'd be like, I don't even know your real life address. I couldn't even send help.
I sent you something from my address.
No, you didn't.
So you'd be able to find it.
Unless you sent it.
No, I sent it physically. There's a physical thing. You won one of the physical prizes. I sent it to you.
No, you sent it from Amazon to my address.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Amazon, stop being so secure. No, that's
and you
right.
haven't sent me a wedding invite yet, so I don't have
because we're not there yet. We're getting there.
So it would just be me and Sonny frantically messaging Cherry on Discord, you might want to come in and check on Nate.
Hey, they saved somebody's life like that one time.
Yeah, there's stories of that.
Gamers. I read about that, yeah. But I'm not going to pass out. I'm not feeling lightheaded. We're good.
Okay.
You know the type of stuff that I read about?
Power Rangers.
I read about milk and milk facts.
Oh God damn it.
That is the name of the podcast.
And I have a milk fact for you guys. Today is it's actually a little bit of a callback to a recent chat conversation on Nate's stream, but did you guys know that there was an event called the Milk Wars?
I did not.
No, I don't recall this. I remember the Watermelon Wars. I could tell you about those another time.
That sounds sick, and I do want to hear about it. In New York in 1883, there was an event called the Milk Wars. It was going on between milk farmers, so dairy farmers, and milk distributors. So basically, farmers wanted more money for their milk. Companies were like, hell no, bro, you're not getting more money for your milk. So these milk farmers would go out and intentionally block roads, steal shipments, and dump out their own milk instead of selling it to the distributors.
That's like petty cubed, dude.
Wow.
What?
Dude, yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, I love it. Oh my God.
Guerrilla warfare in the dairy industry.
Also, I'm just picturing farmer, big bulky guy. There's 10 times the amount of things I did today, which is very little, but I'm fat and stubby, so that's different. So big bulky farmer, and then white suit distributor. I mean, that's...
Well, you got to think, so New York 1883, how far was that removed from being New Amsterdam?
Not a lot.
It couldn't have been that far. Maybe 60 years or so.
Yeah.
So you got to think these are second, third generation people from the Netherlands,
right.
And we have a friend from the Netherlands, and he's one of the nicest, most passive people.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't. It just seems very passive aggressive to do this type of stuff instead of just confronting it head on.
Right. I have visions of just literally the bucket and just staring at them while you turn it over.
Oh my God.
And pouring it out. Just no, fuck you.
It's the Boston Milk Party instead of the Boston Tea Party.
I am the milk magnate. You will recognize me as such.
Oh, I love it.
It's There Will Be Blood, but it's just There Will Be Milk.
That is somehow more and less threatening at the same time.
Well, it would make more sense for the I drink your milkshake.
I was about to say, would there be a I drink your blood shake? Do we just completely switch?
That was the first thing I thought about too. Just it's instead of humans, it's played by axolotls.
Oh my god. They can't see that, but Mr. decided an
They
axolotl
can't. They
face.
can't. That
would
was
be-
completely visual.
Let me give. I'll do baseball commentaries.
No.
And there's Mr. Couple of Co-ops. He raises his hands to his face and he mimics an axolotl's movements.
This is brought to you by the Milk Wars. Dump your fucking milk today.
The Milk Wars of 1883 in New York. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
It's weird to hear you do that voice and then pull up your sleeves and show all your tattoos. The voice you're doing does not come out of a muscly tattooed man.
That's the
I
point.
love it.
That's
Well,
the
of
point.
course.
And actually, that's something I want to say too. So last night on Mister's, or not Mister's exclusively, but on a couple of co-op stream,
There you go.
they were doing Monster Prom,
Mhm.
and they had two. Are you guys like real life friends?
Yes, sure. I don't know. We've never met.
What do you mean?
person.
Oh, you're talking about
Okay,
me and
but-
Mister.
I mean, us too.
I was talking about. So they had two compadres on the stream last night.
We had Math Feek and Lena D Creative were the other two.
Oh, I love both of them. They're lovely.
They're both great people.
Both great people, but they were playing Monster Prom and they were all voice acting the characters for the Monster Prom universe. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm the best at it, but I do voice act. And at the end, I got in the chat and I was like, "Hey, I just want to let you guys know, like, great job on the performances today. You guys are really selling it. I love it."
Yeah, we appreciated that. That gave a little pep in our step.
It was cool.
Not to call anybody out, but Lena was this was her first time playing Monster Prom, and she was nervous about doing the voicing because she had said that she likes reading things out beforehand and sort of like getting the whole phrase in her mind and then being prepared to say it. And we were like, "You're fine, take your time. We're just it's whatever."
Chilling. Yeah.
But her her Vera was awesome. She
killing
was
it.
the Medusa style Gorgon and did the elongated lisping S's and
yeah.
had a very
Hell
regal
yeah.
voice to it.
And then Math Feek, his Damien, like so
Yeah.
different from his normal speaking voice. I was like, wow, okay, really selling the Damien voice, but
Yeah, he got really guttural with the demon voice.
it was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Oh, and then okay, another thing I wanted to bring up. So I have seen in the background of your channel, is it a cross stitch of a D20?
Trying to think which thing. We have an acrylic painting of several people facing down a dragon that says "Roll for Initiative."
That's sick.
Hell yeah.
And then Mrs. has her chest mimic named Chester. Obviously, as you do.
I love a good mimic pun.
She hasn't done a lot of cross stitch. I think there's only one cross stitch in the slideshow that was one of her grandmothers that she finished.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
I guess I was just confused about the medium, but I did notice before that you guys are D&D fans.
very much so. That much is true. Yes.
We
There's
are also
nobody in
D&D
this
fans.
call. Yeah, I'm like, there's no one in this call who is not a D&D nerd right now.
Yeah.
Except for you, Craig.
Yeah, Craig, you fucking
Craig,
poser.
dude, what a he straight up producer tagged the start of this shit.
Dude, for sure
he came in and was like, "Damn, son, where'd you find this?"
Starting recording. Is that what he said?
Dickhead.
Recording now.
Yeah, recording now.
ravioli, give me the formula.
Oh my. Baron Praxis up in here?
No, first of all, no. Baron Praxis is Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, I know, because it's Robo Mr. Krabs.
Second of all, I was doing the nightmare laugh from Soul Calibur.
Fair enough. I'll give you that one.
Darkness, bring me darkness.
Maybe he's right. No.
We just gonna do all of Soul Calibur? Is that what we're doing now? Is
No,
that what
that's a joke about Kingdom Hearts from
Yeah.
Smosh.
Yeah.
But one of the reason I brought up D&D, we made there was a reference to D&D sort of lore in Monster Prom where it's like one character is talking to another character about not eating like a lich's phylactery.
Right.
He's like, "I'm worried you're going to get possessed by a lich." And I got in the chat immediately. I was like, "I don't want to be that guy." But
That's not how lich
You
possession
wouldn't get
works.
a lich. Yeah, you wouldn't get possessioned if you ate a phylactery. If anything, it would destroy the phylactery, and that's what you want to do.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You gotta just gets rid of the lich. Yeah, I was cracking up.
Speaking of jumping into chats, poor Sonny. I made an asshole move. So our last episode was all the horror and shit, right? And we're sitting here talking about our fears and stuff. He tells me over and over, "Yo, I don't do the zombie thing. Zombies not my like." He goes over it a couple times on the podcast, and we've talked about it before. Last night, I was invited to play Back for Blood for charity instead of playing like Crash like I was going to. Totally just neglected to tell Sonny. So Sonny comes in and goes, "Oh yeah, Daddy, time to fuck up some cancer." He goes, "Are those zombies?" I go, "Oh fuck."
Whoops.
I felt so bad, man. Like, and he left. He was like, "I gotta go."
I have
I'm
a
like, "Oh."
ritual every time I go into Nate's stream. I go, "Daddy's here," and then I channel point redeem his Pepsi Man, and then right
Yes.
after that, it's
Yes,
Patrick saying, "I love you" from a SpongeBob. I love you.
love you. Yeah,
That's a good ritual. I like that one.
It's like when I come into your chat,
I
I
love it.
immediately go to treat Lilu every time.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
that's a good one. That's a good treat
And
redeem.
I just felt like such a dick. Everybody was like, "Well, they're not technically zombies," and I went, "No, fuck you guys! Stop talking.
Yeah.
They're definitely zombies." Like, well, they're technically infected humans.
Yeah,
Is that not a zombie?
Let one of them bite you and let me know if you feel like you've been bitten by a zombie.
Right? Yeah. I just I felt like an asshole, and then like I saw him. He was chilling after in my server, so I popped in. I'm like, "Sonny, I fucked
my
up.
bad,
I'm
dude."
sorry." And he's like, "Dude, you're all good." And then we talked about Power Rangers for like 3 hours.
It's true. We talked about Power Rangers for a while. We actually went through and watched all the openings from every series, and we were just kind of roasting the bad ones.
Yeah, and praising the good ones. And there were some surprisingly good ones. We want to tier list those at some point.
Yeah,
right?
I would like to tier list. If not it would be a short one because there's only been so many series. We might have to double up with like the themes and the alternate Rangers. I think that would be fun.
In the mail, Cherry just brought in and then like walked out really quietly. I ordered 2 games for the PlayStation 2. I got Ford Racing 3 for the PS2, which I distinctly remember playing as a kid, so that's gonna be fun. And I got Crazy Taxi.
Oh,
the old
hell
school, like,
yeah.
Sega. And I am so fucking ready, dude, to play some fucking Crazy Taxi.
Oh my god.
They both came in today, different sellers on eBay. I got them for like $6 each, dude. It was cheap.
I love
I was
Crazy
like, you guys are
Taxi.
just handing them over. Oh my god, I can't wait to play it, dude.
God, I
So good.
remember so many quarters at CC's Pizza
Yeah.
playing some Crazy Taxi.
The arcade
You're talking
version.
about like arcade style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and the soundtrack for Crazy Taxi is fire. It's just like pure skate punk. It's like no FX.
Yeah.
And
I'm interested to see what the
Bad
PS2,
Religion.
because I actually played it for the first time I played it on the PS2, and then later I found it in an arcade machine. But I'm wondering, I can't really remember what the PS2 port is like. I don't know if there's like a story mode or if it's just all arcade, but either way, I'm trying to fuck around with some Crazy Taxi. I'm just saying.
They have a PS4 port.
What?
Mhm.
Really?
I didn't know that.
That's
Was
okay.
it?
Still play it on the PS2.
Oh, for
That's
sure,
not
I
your
will.
thing.
No, yeah, I use OG hardware, man, for sure. That's fine. I just to have it physically in my collection is also nice. Like that's my
Wasn't it
thing.
originally for Dreamcast?
Yeah,
Crazy
it
Taxi
was-
one of the Dreamcast
It's
ones?
a Sega. Yeah, it's a Sega property.
Yeah.
Yeah, so most of the stuff that I have like digitally on PS4, I have physically for an older console, like Jak and Daxter. I'll never lose it because I have it for the PS2, all of the games, and then I have the collection for
Hell
PS3. So I'm all good.
Yes. It was initially for the Dreamcast. I had to look it up because there was a Sega console just before the Dreamcast that was
The Saturn.
the Saturn.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
a Saturn. The Saturn was fire. It was like the PS2 before the PS2 because it
Correct.
was disc based.
Yep.
They had I could not tell you the name of the game, but it was an X-Men style game.
Was
but
it like an arcade fighter type of?
Was it like
X-Men style?
Streets of Rage?
It wasn't the side scroll Streets of Rage. It was more like the old
Like an
school
arcade
Mortal
fighter.
Kombat.
Yes,
It was
I know what you're
X-Men
talking
digital.
about. I don't remember the name of it either, but it was so fuck. I think that one had Nightcrawler in it, and I like teleported all over
Yes.
the fucking place. And like
Nightcrawler-
I pissed off my brother. My brother would play as Magneto, but it'd be no use because just poof, poof, poof. He'd be like, "This is ridiculous," and I'm like, "Fucking, I love it."
Nightcrawler is my favorite. member of the
Nightcrawler
X-Men
is-
for sure.
You stole my favorite member, dude.
Mister, do you have a favorite X-Men?
I mean, also Kurt Wagner, but in the Munich circus, he was known as the Amazing Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler's so badass,
Yes!
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, how can,
You could give him a
Prince of
standalone
Pale,
movie, and I'd
teleporting,
be there.
like, come on.
You kidding
Yeah.
me, dude?
It's so for me, and it's not just because they're both blue, but it goes Nightcrawler and Beast.
Okay.
I love Hank. Hank
Yeah.
McCoy is one of the coolest characters because
Hell
he's
yeah.
like, he gains super strength and speed and like the ability to walk on walls, and he's still like, no, I just want to do science stuff.
Yeah, he's like just a big nerd.
I mean, I'll use that when I need to, but I'll be in the lab if you need me.
Exactly.
It's like the Hulk if the Hulk could maintain control.
Yeah, like Professor Hulk, which is an
Yeah.
actual thing
Yes,
now.
yes. Forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Speaking of which, have you guys seen the? I don't like to watch movie trailers, which is something I don't think I've talked about yet. If I'm excited for a movie, I try to avoid the trailer because I just want to see it all organically.
Right.
Yeah.
But I accidentally stumbled across the Thor: Love and Thunder trailer the other day. Have you guys seen it?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I have, but I won't.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. You could. It's not going to be a spoiler for me. You go for it. I don't care. I don't remember seeing the trailer.
Have you seen the memes where they're talking about they think Thor might be I want to phrase this in terms of like not being insensitive, but so the trailer kind of lines it out as he's going through a period of self-growth and maybe like
Mhm.
realizing who he is after a superhero.
I think I did see this because didn't he like zoom off with the Guardians or whatever?
Yeah, and so one of the
Yeah,
one
okay.
of the things is they're talking about they think Thor might be gay in this one because of the
Okay.
trailer when it's like Star-Lord's like, yeah, you just gotta really focus on the people that you love, and Thor's like glaring at Star-Lord the whole time.
Can we? Let's do it.
I
I'm
mean,
in.
I'm here for that.
I'm in, dude. I'm here for it. Hell yeah.
I think it would be good to have that sort of representation, but also like just the
I like how lighthearted it is, though. Like you say, funny, but it'll be a really feel good
mean,
moment.
I-
If that's
like-
what's going on.
I'm here for anything Taika Waititi wants to do with Thor.
dude, I love Taika Waititi. Have you seen? It's a movie called I think it's called The Wilder People.
I haven't yet. No, Mrs. and I have a whole big backlog that we're going to catch back up on this summer when I'm out of school.
I keep adding to mine because Sonny's like, "Have you seen this?" And I'm like, "No."
It's called Hunt for the Wilder
Yeah.
People. It's got Sam Neill in it. We were
Yes,
talking about Jurassic
God,
Park earlier.
dude, don't even get me started, dude.
I thought he was gonna say The Witcher, and I was about to be like, "Ever met a Witcher before? Guess not." That's what he says in the Soul Calibur 6 reveal. When they revealed him as the guest character, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So over here, like casting spells on fucking Sophitia, like, I'm like, well, now nobody wants to play as anybody else but The Witcher. Like,
Okay, so I looked up that X-Men game for Saturn. So the X-Men fighting game, it looks like it was called X-Men Children of the Atom,
Cool.
okay,
but it doesn't have Nightcrawler in it.
What?
maybe I was thinking of a newer one for like PS2 or
No,
something.
but it does have a character called Silver Samurai, which is cool. Because I don't remember Silver Samurai being in that. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I don't know.
Could be. Oh god, there's a game that's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. So I'm just gonna drop it for now. It's bothering me.
It's all good.
I'll go old school and just talk all the Sega talk. I had the Sega Genesis Nomad,
Really?
which
My guy.
it was. So instead of being the console that hooked into the TV,
Mhm.
it was a brick. I mean, like, I know people talk about bricks with technology now, but genuinely the dimensions of this thing were the dimensions of a brick. It
Nice.
was like 12 by 6 by 3. And you inserted the Sega cartridge into the top, and it had a little like 3 by 4 aspect ratio color screen on it, and you could either
Wow.
plug it into a cigarette outlet, or you could plug a 6-pack of AA's into the back of it that it would go through in like half an hour.
Yeah, I'm like
And
that'll
that
burn
thing
quick.
was amazing.
That's pretty sick. Okay, so I talked about this recently. I don't remember which episode. Have you seen the movie Surf Ninjas?
Yes.
Okay. Finally, first and foremost, finally someone else has seen it. But there's a character in that he carries around the Sega handheld console and he's playing Shinobi the whole time.
Yes.
And his version of Shinobi basically alerts him to danger.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So it's like anytime, like it'll cut screen and give him like a cinematic, and there's like ninjas breaking into his house, and he's like, "Oh no, that's weird." And then he'll hear something on the roof, and he's like, "Oh no."
Bird Box when you have fucking Sega Box, my guy.
Surf Ninjas is one of those. Like, I feel like in the early '90s there were just these fever dreams of ninja movies.
Yes.
Because there was also, was it just called Kangaroo Ninjas? Do you guys remember that?
I've heard of this.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
And I think you're right. I think it is just called Kangaroo Ninjas.
I'm just gonna say this because
Warriors of Virtue.
there you go. That's the one. As I Google search kangaroo, the first search reminded me of my history that was kangaroo testicles. So that's still just in there forever.
Yes, I'm so glad that your search reminded you because that's something I actually wanted to bring up.
Okay.
That's what sparked me wanting to have you on the show.
And here I am, kangaroo testicles. Let's do this.
I heard a little bit about this, I think.
Do you want to tell Nate the thought process behind what was going on there?
I mean, I feel like thought process, both of those words are generous, like separately, and then you put them together and it's just a massive overrepresentation. So Mrs. was asking what the next subject of her fiber art should be, I think was the provenance of all this. Whether it was a crochet project or an embroidery project, I can't remember. And then I said, in the abstract, testicles. Sonny came in with kangaroo testicles, more specifically. And, kangaroo testicles, haha, yes, how quirky and specific of a suggestion that is. But then I was thinking, okay, I know that kangaroos are marsupials and that they have weird reproduction in general because of the whole pouch thing. I don't know off the top of my head if I've ever seen kangaroo testicles or if they
just from a biological standpoint.
Right, yeah. Right. Purely.
Well, I fucking hope so.
And so I went down a Google rabbit hole, and it turns out that one I had because there was a GIF that I'd blocked out of my mind. But yes, kangaroos have incredibly, remarkably, so much so that I am able to remark upon it here on this podcast. Pendulous testicles. Just the shape of the two individual testes within the scrotum versus the necking as it goes back towards the body is mind blowing. Go for it.
Why did the three of us sound like the writing room for Kangaroo Jack right now?
I mean, it was.
My name is Jackie Legs, and I'd like to say hello.
You know for a fact there was a group of like animators and producers sitting around a table going, "Do we include the balls? Do we put the balls in?"
You make them sound unavoidable, so I'm sure that.
Dude, they gave him a red hoodie, no pants.
Yeah. So like he's Donald Duck in it. They could have
had the conversation.
Yeah. Like they're there. But no, so then the other crazy thing that was just again from the biology side of things, because of how like when all of the reproductive organs are forming, the pouch and how that like which parts of the cells those are, the testicles of a kangaroo are actually in between the sternum and the penis of the kangaroo.
What?
So like if you're going from top to bottom of a kangaroo, you're going to go head, sternum, stomach, testicles, penis, legs.
I've never heard that version of the song.
Okie doke.
So what this leads to, Nathan, what I'm telling you here is that there exist pictures of kangaroo testicles.
I'm Googling it. Fine.
Perched atop
Uh-huh.
their erect penis, much like
Wonderful.
a majestic bird on a branch.
Yeah, so I'm opening the incognito tab now.
Yeah, go ahead.
It out. I'm doing it. You guys keep going on about how pendulous this shit is. This should be really good.
But then also, kangaroo leather is a very prized thing in Australia, and that they are a very abundant resource. And so there are many types of kangaroo testicle paraphernalia out there. They make a good coin purse, obviously.
Pun intended.
Yeah. But then there are bottle openers, various grips of things, and yeah. So that's a thing that I can't ever get out of my head. And now you, dear listener, can have that to enjoy as
Could
well.
you imagine like being in Australia and going to like their version of a Play It Again Sports and just being like looking at golf clubs and you're like, I've never seen this grip before, and you're like, is this lizard skins like a baseball bat? And they're like, no, this is kangaroo balls.
This is kangaroo scrotum.
The best way I can describe this shape that I'm looking at right now, it's a Hershey's Kiss that just won't stop kissing. Like it just keeps going, dude. Like, oh please. Oh no.
Well, I'm glad that the legend of the kangaroo testicles is what gained me access into this prestigious institution.
Just fucking kisses that don't stop kissing, bro. I don't
Yeah.
know. I really don't know how to describe it. That's a lot.
I think
That's a lot to take
people
in.
that have listened from the beginning will remember. I think I talked about it in the first episode because we were talking about like having guests on, and I was like, "Yeah, I've already asked someone," and I was like, "This is what." And I even
This
referenced
crazy
like,
guy.
the kangaroo testicles. So I'm glad that you're finally on here to tell the story.
Well, so again, like the marsupial reproduction is insane, and if you let me, I'll go down
Wait.
like a full biological. Yeah, go for it, Nate.
Crash Bandicoots are marsupial. Bandicoots are marsupial. Wait, I gotta go see these Bandicoot balls. I'm not fucking. No time to waste. No time. Time is of the essence.
Yeah, no, they are. So a lot of marsupials can do delayed impregnation
Oh.
because the pouch serves as like a pseudo womb.
Oh. Okay.
And so they have basically the female will have essentially two uteri that can foster an embryo until the weird tiny gummy bear baby is prepared to climb to the pouch.
Gummy bear baby.
That's what it looks like. It looks like a fucking gummy bear. It climbs out of the uterus and towards the pouch, and then will latch on to a nipple that is in the pouch, and then will develop the rest of the way in there.
Fuck it, this is inconvenient. Why do you want to hold on a minute in my pouch? Why?
Okay, so that's the most fascinating thing I've ever heard, but also like the most alien concept of all time.
Yeah, no, marsupials are insane.
Dude, I couldn't even imagine like if an alien came to Earth. Like I'm sure aliens will have their own weird reproductive systems if and
Right.
when we ever find out about them.
Right.
But if they ever come to Earth and they're like, "What is this creature?" and it's a kangaroo, we just have to be like, I got nothing for you, bud. Like I don't have the time.
I'm just as confused as you are. All I know is it'll kick the shit out of you. So just
It
like
will kick the shit out of you and jump over your elementary school bus.
yeah. But no, like that's most marsupials. That's the more than half of the embryonic development happens inside the pouch. So you get this weird
Alien baby.
like I mean like you guys have seen like baby mice or baby rats that are
Yes.
pink and their eyes are closed and everything.
like baby bunnies.
Yeah, it's that climbing across its mother's fur into a pouch, and then it stays in that pouch for another couple months until it's ready to be in the world.
What sort of weird horror movie Cronenberg shit is that? And
I'll
that's real life.
I'll take you one step further. You ready? You
Yep.
you guys ready to go with me on this journey?
Yeah, blow my mind.
We're gonna go one step further down the mammal ladder to the monotremes and go into platypus and echidna territory.
Oh no, because the echidnas have like 4 heads on their penises.
There
or
it is.
whatever.
Nate knows. Echidnas have a 4-headed penis.
Oh, why do I know that one? That's all right.
Why do you know
Knuckles,
that
you're not
one,
looking
Nate?
so good anymore.
Yeah.
I don't remember why.
Because it's a shocking fact that needs to be shared with the world.
Yeah, they got some weird anatomy going on.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that in this Sonic sequel,
Knuckles.
My guy.
There's a reason. There's a reason he's called Knuckles.
Oh, I call him.
no!
Well, I prefer my name, which is Nipples the Enchilada. But you guys you do what you want.
And honestly, is Sonic 2 even out yet? Is that in theaters?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's out. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet.
I was waiting for Cherry to watch the first one.
And it is supposedly Jim Carrey's last movie,
I heard about that.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah,
We'll see.
which, for better or
We'll
worse,
see.
it's okay. Adam Sandler needs work. We'll be fine. We'll get another Eggman.
Oh, could you imagine?
No.
Like, oh, what are you doing, Sonic?
oh man, we gotta get them Chaos Emeralds.
You remember when Dr. Eggman came back and we stole the Chaos Emerald?
You're starting to sound like Iron Mike there for.
Talking about Mike Tyson?
Yeah, I love Mike Tyson's voice though.
Did you hear about him fighting the guy on the plane?
I did hear about that.
I heard
Yeah,
through the grapevine. I didn't hear a bunch about it.
Of all the people to antagonize
yeah, the most historically acclaimed
in an
boxer.
enclosed space, like
I know what I'm gonna do today. Who wakes up and goes?
I'm in a 15 square foot area, and I'm gonna antagonize the heavyweight boxing champion of the world historically.
Iron Mike fucking Tyson. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Who also historically has anger issues and not the right coping mechanisms.
I got the shit kicked out of me. Who could have predicted this?
Dude, you never know. Maybe that was his intent. Maybe that's on his bucket list.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe he's like, I would like to get beat within an inch of my life by the heavyweight champion.
So did he sue him?
I don't know.
Did he sue him?
Well, like I can't remember whose roast it was, but it was in the heyday of Comedy Central roasts. When but they had Mike Tyson and Steve-O were both up on stage, and Steve-O was like at the end of the whole roast is like a big climax. Steve-O was trying to get Mike Tyson to punch him, and Mike was like, "I'm not gonna do that.
Who else? But
I'm not
Steve-O?
like I'll kill you."
Yeah, Steve-O is severely smaller than Mike Tyson.
And so they settled on
Yeah,
Mike just
dude,
holding
yeah.
out his fist, and Steve-O ran and jumped into
Steve-O
Mike
goes-
Tyson's fist, and he's still like black eye and was like bloodied his lip.
Hurt himself. Yeah.
It was insane.
It's what a passive fight that still resulted in physical injury.
Yeah,
Have you seen the new Jackass yet?
I haven't.
I haven't yet either.
It's interesting. It's what you expect.
I've seen clips here and there.
It's what you expect.
Yeah,
Suddenly, I don't feel so insecure about the size of my peen.
it seems like that they've taken advantage in this one, and I'm hoping that they did more high speed camera footage. Like,
Yep.
as that has become more
Yes. Oh yeah.
ubiquitous.
Yep.
It's like, man, if you're gonna get smacked in the face with a 5-pound dildo that's been launched out of an air cannon, let's get that shit at 2,000 frames a second. Like,
They did a really good job. It was nice. That WrestleMania stuff suddenly makes more sense if you've seen the movie already, actually.
Oh,
oh yeah,
It was like a weird, like, pseudo sequel watching them at WrestleMania just because the people they brought back were not the people I was expecting.
did you guys as kids? Because I'm not sure what the age gap is between us here. I can't imagine it's that much. But like I watched Jackass growing up. I was a little young. I was very young to be watching it, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
But it made me think that me and my friends were professional stuntmen, and we tried to do all sort of stuff. Like I think at one point we put my best friend in a deep freezer.
No.
A pretty good sized deep freeze, like not the small like 3 cubic feet or whatever. Like this is one that you could. It was essentially a coffin. It was a frozen coffin,
right.
and we put him in there, and he stayed in there for like 3.5 minutes. Like way too long to be in a deep freeze, and he was in his underwear.
Why? Why does the story get
God.
worse as you say it out loud?
Right, quick saying more descriptors.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's the thing, like
Is he also covered in water fresh out the shower.
No, we weren't that mean.
Okay.
Would have been that honestly, we probably should have done that.
We would open the lid and hose him every minute.
Dude, that would probably be way better, to be honest with you. But no, it was just like really lame. Like, this is as extreme as we can get. And it's like, I'm gonna climb in the deep freeze. but there was another kid that was like kind of a part of what we were doing there, and we were videotaping all of this, right? This kid, he took off full sprint, like trying to set the world record for the 40-yard dash, and then full on clotheslined himself with a stop sign. Like,
Hell yeah.
sprinted straight at a stop sign, ran into it with his face, and he just straight flipped onto his back immediately. It was incredible.
Outstanding.
And I think he was 12. So if anyone was driving by, because, I mean, obviously it's a stop sign, they just would have seen a 12-year-old full sprint and then smacked himself in the face with the stop sign. Fantastic.
Outstanding.
The WWE, the old warning. Like now it's just the text that says don't try this at home. It used to be like Edge, I got like 2 neck surgeries, and then Rey Mysterio would be like, I broke my knee 4 times. Dun 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 dun. Don't try this at home. And then I proceed to try to swanton bomb my brother. We like stacked up the couch cushions like a table, and then like I missed the couch cushions, but I hit the back of my head on the arm of the chair. That felt good. That really rattled me good. And so now I stream for an audience. That's how that. Yeah, those two are totally connected.
There's a straight line that you could draw from that point to now.
For sure.
Speaking of not trying things at home,
sex, am I right?
So no, not sex. Definitely try sex at some point, unless you're not into it. If you're asexual, don't force yourself into anything.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, please don't.
2 consenting individuals, have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Consenting is the key word there. But the thing that I wanted to bring up today, just because I wanted to get some input on it, like we've talked about kangaroo testicles already, so this is another weird.
Oh God.
This is more weird history than weird biology.
Okay.
How familiar are you guys with mummies?
Yes.
More. I would probably say higher than the average person. And I mean, 1999's The Mummy with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz shaped a not insignificant amount of who I am today.
I do love that series of mummy movies, but the thing that I want to say, do you guys know that? So I mean, obviously, there's a finite amount of mummies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Based on that number, do you know that there is currently a shortage of mummies?
Okay, so
No, I did not know that.
my initial reaction to that would be, I mean,
Stop digging up dead people.
So I know that mummies used to be pigments for paints, jerky, just mummy meat, centerpieces for your ostentatious ballroom in Victorian era, wherever. But like now, when you say shortage, do you mean sitting in a hall of a museum? Like what usage do mummies have that we are deficient in?
That's what I wanted to talk about. Is I wanted to know if you guys knew about the other sort of like the historical significance of what mummies were compared to what they are now. And you brought up,
Before we get into that, can I tell you a mummy fact that just popped in my head?
yes, absolutely.
Like this is the most effed up part to me about like mummies and tombs. Whenever somebody got mummified or whatever, their servants would get buried with them, even if the servants were still alive. They took whatever they needed, quote unquote, with them into the tomb. You know what I mean? So servants just so loyal to these people that they just stayed in the pyramids and then died. Like, could you imagine? That's messed up. Oh, you're gonna need this jewelry. Also, these slaves, they're yours. Yeah, we're just gonna bury those with you too.
Yeah, that is fucked up.
That is not great. I hate it. But
so two of the other historical uses of mummies, they were also medicine. At one point, people would grind up mummies and use them as medicine.
Mummy meds, sure.
Yeah. Also, they would eat them. You brought up jerky. People would eat mummies in Victorian era England.
okay, but what for what ailment was the medicine? Is my question.
Okay. I have an article from the Smithsonian pulled up here.
Oh shit.
Let me get rid of that ad. So it says for several hundred years in the 16th and 17th century. So this is William Shakespeare era England. This is the 1500s.
Yeah.
Willie Shakes.
Many Europeans, including royalty, priests, and scientists, routinely ingested remedies containing human bones, blood, and fat as medicine for everything from headaches to epilepsy. It says mummies were stolen from the tombs, and then also skulls from Irish burial sites, and gravediggers would routinely rob and sell body parts. Yeah, apparently cannibalism in the 15 and 1600s in the UK was like pretty prominent.
No, but see, like, it's not like somebody that you knew. It's a guy that's been dead for a couple hundred years. So that's totally fine, right?
So it's cool to eat them. You good with that? All right.
That's something that like actually happened, and it's based on like homeopathic medicine.
Right.
And they just thought that like
That's awful.
like people would rub fat on their like skin and be like, yeah, this will cure my stomach ache. And what's the other? It says you can push powdered moss up your nose and your nosebleed will stop.
Well, yes and no. Yes and no.
You can push powdered anything up your nose and your nosebleed will stop because it's a powder and it will cause the blood to coagulate temporarily.
But yeah, that's I just wanted to bring up if you guys knew that people ate mummies. There are multiple articles on this. There's whole books written about it. Like I said, I have this Smithsonian article pulled up here. Yeah, that's that's one piece of weird history that I wanted to bring up. A second piece of weird history I wanted to bring up. How much do you guys know about clowns?
Enough.
Are you going to talk about the clown college egg makeup trademarking?
For the last 2 weeks, I've been messaging Nate, like, dude, I want to talk about clown eggs. And he's like, clown eggs, what is that? I go,
I see the
dude,
connection now.
we'll save it. I want to talk about it on the podcast. He goes, is that what they hatch from?
I didn't ask that, did I?
Yes.
You did.
Yes. Clowns are in fact a monotreme, much like the platypus and the echidna. They are actually mammals, but they hatch from eggs. They have four-headed penises, so be careful.
The embryonic clown will crawl up its mother's makeup.
Yeah.
Rest itself in the red nose.
All right, lay it on me. What are clown eggs?
Will grow in the pouch, and then she'll form it into a small dog, and then it will pop.
Sure.
They actually hatch from balloon animals. No, clown eggs are there's a museum in London called the Clown's Gallery. And basically, if a clown wants to trademark their facial makeup, they have to go to the Clown's Gallery. They have a painter on hand that paints their likeness onto an egg, and the egg is stored in the museum. And there's a whole historical record of clown makeup trademarks.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
And I believe, I'm sure a listener will correct me if I'm wrong. I think there is an egg that is John Wayne Gacy's egg.
No way.
I believe so.
No way.
Because he was a clown for so long.
I got to look this up now.
Or it may have been that someone did a John Wayne Gacy-esque egg just to be quote unquote funny.
I didn't know he was in Chicago. That's kind of terrifying.
The city or the play?
Oh, okay, now you're speaking my language.
There you go. I got Nate back.
No, Gacy was in Chicago, like the city. I can't find anything about that. That might be like a recreation.
Might be.
Because I just can't imagine him traveling. Because you have to go to London and sit.
Right, you have to like register.
Yeah. So I can't imagine him having done that. But there are clown colleges in the United States. There's several famous ones. There's two in Florida and one in Wisconsin.
Well, there's tons in the U.S., right? Anytime you got to take out student loans that are beyond your depth, clown college, ridiculous.
Shots fired.
Go on.
Got him.
Yeah, so the thing that I wanted to bring up about clown eggs. So this was a tradition that started like a long time ago. And at first they were painting on actual eggs. that had been hollowed out, and it was just the shell. But they were obviously prone to breakage, and at first there wasn't an actual location.
Mm-hmm.
They were all stored at a diner called like Clowns or something like that. I can't remember the name of the
Sure, of
the
course.
diner. That diner closed down in like the 1940s.
It was called that one creepy fucking diner with all the clown eggs.
No, but it had like the whole diner was clown themed. Like it had like clown memorabilia, it had the eggs with the trademark faces and everything. But it closed down.
You're not helping the diner's case.
There's an audience for everything. But that diner closed down and the eggs were lost for a long time. So like in the 80s, this new museum opened up. And they were like trying to find the original set of eggs so they could at least like recreate them or store them if they were still in good condition. And some lady in the UK called them up and was like, "Hey, they're in my fucking attic."
Come get them.
And so they did. They went and got them, and they were like still in good condition, but they replicated them and they store the original somewhere, and then they have the replicas on display with everything else, just like chronologically. But
That's awesome.
now they paint them on ceramic eggs instead of actual eggshell. So
That makes sense.
a little bit of a different thing there. I just wanted to see how much you guys knew about clowns too, because I didn't know anything about it. It popped up as a meme for me the other day, and I was like, "That's interesting. I need to know more."
Yeah, I had heard about the clown egg catalog, and it fascinated me. Again, it's one of those weird quirks of history of like, well, this is how we've always done it, so this is how we're gonna keep doing it, I guess. I could see how before, like porcelain and ceramic was readily available, that just a blown egg that is roughly human head shaped and easy to paint on and preserves well would be the thing that you would use, but it just sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Now.
Ironically, there's a diner near where I live. Every Saturday, there's a clown. He's great with the kids. He makes balloons. Jerry and I go in there sometimes and eat at the diner, and there's a clown.
Wait, he's there right now? Spoiler alert,
Yeah,
this is on a Saturday.
I mean, probably not now. It's later in the day, but yeah.
You're telling me I come to visit you on Saturday, and there's a chance that if I go to a diner?
No, not a chance. Same time every day we go to that diner on Saturday. I guarantee you the clown's there. Hangs out. Has like SpongeBob on his overalls. He's very nice. He's a very cool dude.
You brought up the musical earlier whenever I referenced Chicago. Have you guys heard of the opera Pagliacci?
The sad clown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you heard the joke that inspired that?
No.
I don't suppose so. I know the like, I don't know if it's the joke that inspired it, but I know like calling it a joke sounds cruel, but the story of the guy that like goes to his doctor and he says, "I'm so sad," and the doctor's like, "You should go see this clown."
Mm-hmm.
He makes everybody laugh in spite of himself being sad, and he's like, "Doctor, I am that clown."
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Yeah. He's like, "You should go see Pagliacci the clown. He makes everybody laugh." And he's like, "I am Pagliacci."
Oh my god. That's awesome. That's really sad.
So yeah, it's like really dismal, but that everyone's heard that aria, and I don't have a problem like belting this out because it's old.
Wait a minute. I'm not allowed to sing it.
No, it's public domain.
Okay.
It's public domain.
Yeah, well,
It's got to be public domain by now, yeah.
The aria is the
Couple centuries.
The Ridi Pagliacci. That everyone's heard it. It's a clown musical.
Right.
It's a clown opera.
That's great.
Like the most sad opera music
Right.
of all time, and it's about a fucking clown.
That's messed
Yeah.
up.
I've many times in listening to different arias like Carmen
Carmen's a good
and,
one. Oh my god.
and things like that. Like wanting to hear the English translation of it. Just to be able to have the words be able to be processed by my brain. Because when 100% everyone should go out and enjoy the operas in the original languages that they were written, because the cadence and the syllables and everything in the inflection, if it was written for those languages, that's what it should be heard in. But also, sometimes the intention behind those words can be so very different, and it's just really interesting, like you say, to break down like something that sounds so deep and meaningful and melancholy, and you're like, wait,
Yeah.
this is about a clown? Hold
Yeah.
on. Wait.
I think there is an opera company in the US that translates stuff so that way people can enjoy it. And it's funny that you bring that up. Where I gotta remember what this is from. So, and of course, Pavarotti is the example that pops up when I Google this. Luciano Pavarotti, great voice. Where is it? So this is okay. So it's from Rigoletto. La Donna Immobile is the aria, right? I'm trying to remember. Oh, it has a translation. That's cool.
Well, so the last time I
Nice.
went to an opera, I was 12, and they did have the translations up on a screen. So like it was playing, they were singing it in Italian up on the screen translation if you wanted it.
Very cool. Like did it have like the karaoke style bouncing ball so you could still follow along?
No, there was no karaoke style ball, but it was very well timed and I enjoyed it.
Nice.
Some operas have really comedic things on stage that look comedic, but actually something really terrible is going on.
Mhm.
Specifically, bathtub
Mhm.
scenes a lot of the time are like, on one hand, yeah, there's this naked large man in a bathtub. On the other hand, he's singing about how nobody wants him and his dick is small. But anyway, yeah. So
Like, I'm sure everyone's heard this one too because it's in so much pop culture. Like, I think there's an episode of Futurama where there's like a shrimp on like a gondola,
Yeah.
and he's rowing and he's singing. It's La Donna Immobile, the La Donna Immobile, non so se vio, like that song.
But yes.
But I just looked it up, so I actually didn't know what Rigoletto was about. But it's about a hunchback and the daughter of a duke, and they're both cursed. Like at the end, the daughter like sacrifices her life. But then you've got that song, which is like super parodied and it really upbeat.
Sure, yeah. Shit slaps. It's a straight banger.
But what's funny too, and I think Nate and I have talked about what's the name of the I know we've talked about Orpheus or L'Orfeo for sure, because we talked about like the tragedy of him like getting out of the underworld or whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's another one. It's Dido and Aeneas. That's another one that I couldn't think of it until just now. Have you guys heard about Dido and Aeneas? Like that's one where the music matches the tone.
Never heard of it.
So I talk about Rent all the time because I was in it. That's based off an opera called La Boheme, where instead of spoilers for Rent, if you haven't seen it, it's been a long time since Rent came out. Mimi comes back to life at the end of Rent. La Boheme, no, she's just dead. Nope. I don't want to say he ripped off, but he kind of really did like rip so much stuff from La Boheme. I'm like, this is practically the same, except we're fighting AIDS, which is really cool. You know, I think he did a great thing. It sucks that Jonathan Larson, the guy who wrote Rent, passed away before you could ever see it on Broadway.
Yeah, it is unfortunate.
Sucks, but rest in peace, legend. But yeah, operas are tragic, or sometimes funny, or sometimes about clowns. I'm sitting with two clowns right now.
And sometimes all three.
Yeah, all
two
three
clowns
of us.
right now. Last podcast you called me a legend, and this podcast I'm a clown. What happened in the last
You
week?
could be a legendary clown.
Hey, clowns have no bad connotation to them. You're funny.
What?
You
Clowns
crack
have
me
no-
up. Is
dude.
that bad?
Clowns have a bad connotation. Just the name alone. If I called you a clown, you'd be like, "What did I do? What did I do?"
Look, just go register your egg.
No, I'd be like, man, he must have watched my last
You're
stream.
right. I need
and
to
get it."
register my egg for sure.
Anybody want to draw us as clowns? We need some fan art. Let's go.
So speaking of like performance and stuff like that, like obviously clowning is a form of performance. Like it's
Yes.
a exaggerated
Right.
form of facial performance.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of masking? Masking is like it's another form of performance art, but instead of
Uh-huh.
like makeup, you literally wear a mask. It's where the like the drama theater logo comes from.
Is that like the Camellia dell'arte?
Yes.
That's oh, I can't remember. There's a Japanese name for it.
Kabuki theater?
Kabuki. Yes, yes. They also did it in ancient Greece before.
Yeah.
Before they let women on stage, they were like, "We're just gonna make these guys put on the mask." and
Right.
now
You
they're
had
playing."
like the
Yeah.
set characters.
Yes.
It was like
Yep,
the jester or the mother or whatever.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is actually like super into masking. He went to school in
Did.
Paris and like studied masking exclusively.
Sure, of course you did.
So, and okay, I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan of old JGL there, but I do appreciate his. He has a drive that just pulls him to whatever he wants to do,
Mhm.
and I really respect that. Like that dude just plays Magic the Gathering and like likes music, and then is casually in Batman movies. Like he's cool to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a caliber of, I guess, child actor that at this point they're doing all right. Like
Yeah.
they can live comfortably. They've been in enough things to be famous or whatever, and so now
Shane
they
Top.
just do whatever
Wow.
project interests them or whatever thing interests them.
So speaking of child actors, Nate hasn't seen this movie. Have you seen The Good Son?
Yes. Oh my god.
Man, you guys are making me feel so young.
It's okay. It's not a young thing. It's just like that movie doesn't get a lot of talk about it.
No.
Okay.
And it is
It's got Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood, right?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were telling me about
Yeah,
that.
they're
Yeah.
both like 10 years old. But like just speaking of child actors, Elijah Wood is another one where it's like that dude's okay. Like he's doing all right.
Yeah.
Uh,
He loves horror movies, which is so cool to hear him talk about that.
I talked about that on last week's podcast episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean
No,
to
no,
overlap.
no,
I
no,
don't mean
it's
to
totally
overlap.
okay because I brought up The Good Son, and that's the next thing I brought up is how much he loves horror films.
Because he's got his own production company now.
Oh, that one referee from WWE is also a horror collector. He collects like
Nice.
props and shit. I don't remember his name, but he's a referee who still referees for WWE now. And like his Instagram is nothing but like his horror collection. Like he's
That's
way
pretty
into it.
sick.
He was on, yeah.
I
So
wonder if it started with like Kane memorabilia from
and then like expanded.
I mean, probably. I wouldn't doubt that.
it was See No Evil, right? Wasn't that the Kane horror movie?
Yes, yeah. And one of the funniest bits I've ever seen on WWE. There was a big wrestler. He was part of the Wyatt family, and he was watching See No Evil like on the screen, and Kane walks up to him, no mask or anything, just regular like bald Kane,
Just Glenn Jacobs.
Yep. No, not even Glenn Jacobs. He just walks in as like Kane, and then the dude like jumps. The dude is supposedly part of the Wyatt family. He goes, "You scared me." And then they just both go back to watching See No Evil together, and I'm like, dude, so good. Like what?
Amazing.
WWE used to be so good.
Just a Family Guy style cutaway from your wrestling entertainment. Yeah, those were the topics that I wanted to bring up. Specifically, like I literally wrote down people eating mummies and clown eggs.
There you go.
Do you have anything that you want to tell us about, like as far as like maybe what got you into sort of like 3D computer design for like drafting, I guess?
Do you have anything you want to say to us? Like foot tapping, just the way you phrased that question at the start was like a mom going, "So, do you have something you want to tell me today?"
Do you have anything that you haven't told us yet?
So you're telling me that no one in this house broke my DSLR camera?
No, really. No one has any idea.
Nate, were
No.
you wrestling with the couch cushions again? There's blood from your head on the arm of the chair. Are you sure?
Oh, not where I thought you were going with that. You said wrestling with the couch cushions, and I was like, is this a
no,
puberty
this is
joke?
not.
That meant
Wow,
something
that's
different
gross.
where I
Come
grew
on,
up.
guys.
I don't know if that's
I never got caught for any of that stuff.
I told this joke to my boss the other day. Like the person that pays me money to do a job.
outstanding.
I walked into his office and go, You ever been caught jerking off in a closet?
What the hell?
And he goes,
Like, wait. That was your intro? Like you came in with that.
You led with that?
yeah, I came in cold. I
Okay.
opened the door right into it. You ever been caught jerking off in a closet? He goes, no. I go, pretty good spot, huh? And walked off.
Dude.
Amazing. Amazing.
He's a weird guy. I'll walk in his office and he'll just be like, "Oh, Queenie."
All right.
God, a good boss can make all the difference in the world.
It's true. He wants to come on the podcast and share his hot
What on the
takes.
podcast?
He wants to come on the podcast.
Man, I haven't even got to do that yet. Jesus.
Well, we'll have to set it up in the closet first, right?
Dude, so ironically, okay. Mr. is currently in my Discord server.
I was about to say I didn't know if we wanted to give too behind the scenes as to the name of the Discord server.
Yeah, I'll tell because I post a link to it. My Discord server's name is literally Screaming in My Closet.
Right.
Which was it was a podcast that I tried to host before. I recorded 2 episodes. I wanted to backlog them before I started releasing, and then I got too busy, couldn't keep up with it. So it never got off the ground. But it's like a play on words for amateur voice actors. Like when they start recording and making money, usually they set up in a closet.
Oh, voice acting. That's what you're screaming about. Okay.
Yeah. So
on.
it's like a joke. It's like typically whenever you start voice acting, the kind of gigs that you get are like walla, which is basically background noise.
Yeah.
So like, people on the street, and you just hear like so kind of like that sort of
Right.
thing. And then the next step up from that is like soldier number 4.
There he is. Get him.
Yeah.
Go.
You went from creaming in your closet to screaming in your closet, is what you're telling me.
You can do both. It's a very versatile space.
Oh, perfect.
There's a lot of Scotch Guard.
Just don't put a black light in there. That's all
Like
I'm
a
saying.
Jackson Pollock painting.
Oh.
That's from Guardians of the Galaxy.
It is, yes.
Yeah, I was like, I had to remember for a second. And so I think I've talked about this. Do you have anything that like a piece of media that you think you could step into from a creative standpoint, take it over, and completely change the perception of it?
Oh, wow.
Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy.
Like if you came in, let's say you're like, oh, I think I could rewrite this, or I could write a script, or I think I could design something better.
Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy.
Man. It sounds like Nate has an opinion on that.
Yeah, go ahead, Nate. We'll let you talk while Mister comes up with this answer.
It frustrates me that none of the big 3 try to pick it up ever. Nintendo doesn't need it. Nintendo has Zelda. But it's a shocker to me that Sony wasn't like, this is actually really solid and really good, because they left it off on a cliffhanger, and I really want to write the next game really badly.
Fair enough.
I'm really prepared to send the mummy on another adventure to reclaim his soul. I just want it to be like a chain of games where he never quite gets it because he's so clumsy all the fucking time. I just missed opportunity, man. It kills me. It kills me every time. That and Jack and Daxter needs a reboot. Not like a Jack 4, like a goddamn reboot. With none of that gun shit. Throw the guns away. We have Ratchet and Clank. He's doing fine. Insomniac's got it. As a matter of fact, give this to Insomniac, because the last time he gave Naughty Dog something, they fucking jerked off into a bucket, and of course people ate it up. Whatever. But fucking, we need a Jack reboot. Sorry,
No, you're fine.
Fuck.
You're fine. This is a safe space, Nate.
If I could reboot Jack and Daxter, I'd keep the first game the same. Make it look a little prettier. And from there, just continue doing village things. Give the man like a melee weapon or something. I'm tired of guns. We get it. There's a million guns. That's great. Give this man like an eco staff. Just have him fuck shit up. Give him new combos like God of War style without the blood. Just fucking. They can make it so fun. They can make it so fucking fun, and they just don't want to.
I can see that. I'm not even arguing that. Yeah.
Wasted potential.
So I do have a game example that I have a lot of attachment to, but to spin it off and maybe spark some other creative development, there is a comic book storyline within the Marvel Universe The character's name is Speedball.
Oh, you told me about this.
Mr.'s face when you say Speedball. It is like,
The villain that killed Chris Farley.
yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Holy shnikes, what a callback. Speedball, yes, reference to drugs. But Speedball, he's got an interesting comic book history, and I think that if I sat down and wrote like an 8-episode series for like a streaming platform, I think I could sell it for a lot of money and it would be very good. Because it's an interesting premise where like the comic books start off where this group, it's basically like a Young Avengers style group. They have a reality TV show, and during an episode, Speedball uses his powers and basically blows up a whole town and kills a lot of innocent people, and then loses his powers, and then he can only get it back through inflicting pain on himself. So he becomes a hero. I think the hero is called Penance, and the inside of Penance's armor is like spiked, so it constantly stabs him so he can access his powers.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty
So
dark,
kinky, dude.
but
Yeah.
that's one I think I could take over that, and I would love to, if Milktown ever grows to the point where let's say we make a little bit of money, I would like to acquire the license to a game like Earthworm Jim or
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
or
Yeah.
Booger Man.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Uh-huh.
One of the two. They're both under the same developer. I can't
Mhm.
remember the name of the
Mhm.
developer right now, but I would love to acquire those licenses and either A, put out a new game, or B, just release the game more readily. Because, like, they just put Earthworm Jim 2 on the Switch as part of the Super Nintendo Pass.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and 2, historically,
I'm gonna make note of that.
it's the worst Earthworm Jim game.
Yeah.
There's no difference in, like, okay, so typically with a platformer, there's kind of hints on where to go, right? Like, there's some hidden
Right.
stuff. Earthworm Jim 2 just looks like it doesn't tell you where to go, it doesn't tell you how to do anything. So you just have to like sit there and mess up for 2.5 hours, and then you can get past the first level.
So it's that Jekyll and Hyde game all over again. And E.T.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Atari, put it in that bin. I'm sure there's
So,
some
yeah.
semblance of what I'm meant to be doing, but I don't know.
Yeah. You just trial and error.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a sign in Earthworm Jim 2, like one of the first crucial things you have to do. It says like, pick up the pig, but it doesn't tell you how. It just says pick up the pig, and then it doesn't tell you A, what to do with it, or B, how to do it. But what about you? Did you come up with a piece of media?
Well, so I'll answer the question that you didn't ask, but that I thought you were going to ask first, which was, I don't even know how to phrase it. And I guess it's Nate's more theater background, as far as like a piece of media or character that I feel like confident going into, because I guess because we were talking about voice acting, and like classic stage productions. Franz Liebkind in The Producers, Will Ferrell's character in The Producers. I'm not like, I've been on stage for a few different things. I'm not like the most confident. I don't really get stage fright, but like I feel like I could nail that.
Okay.
Like I've been taking German since I was in kindergarten, and just the like crazy over the top.
You hear that? He said kindergarten. That means he's
Yeah,
German.
der Kindergarten. It means the child's garden. That's proof right there.
Right.
It's fair we grows the
Yeah,
children.
it's very gruesome. But no, like I feel like there aren't a lot of roles that if there was, a local weekend theater or a couple of friends or whatever that was trying to put on something, there aren't a lot of roles that I would be comfortable just being like, sure, I'll do it. But that one, 100%, I would do it tomorrow. But as far as media properties that I feel like would need,
Yeah, what needs your help?
this may be a deep cut. I don't know how well
He
it'll
looks
land.
deeply into the camera and goes, "Nostalgia Nate. Nostalgia Nate needs some fucking help."
I can do it way better than he can.
Go for it, bro.
no.
You play Crazy Taxi, then I quit.
Do you guys know the Redwall series?
Mm-mm.
I don't.
Redwall by Brian Jacques.
Oh, so you speak in other languages again? Fuck.
It was a series of young adult novels that was woodland creatures that lived in an abbey called Redwall Abbey. And so there are like mice and hedgehogs and stuff, but then there are also like rats and weasels and stoats that are the bad guys, but then there are also like these big warrior badgers and otters and hares and things like that. And it's a really cool series, and he was a very prolific author, and they'd done a couple of animated things. But I really think that it could be like a kick-ass movie, or I genuinely think that the VR game Moss, if you guys are familiar with that,
yeah.
I think it's based off of that, because the woodland around Redwall Abbey is called Mossflower Wood. But I think it, like any of the adaptations that I've seen, didn't take full advantage of the biology of the animals that were involved in it.
Oh, here we are again. Animal
I
biology.
know. That's what I'm going to go back to. If you give me any platform and let me talk for like more than 10 minutes, I'll bring it back to biology. But like, if you think about the physiology of a mouse versus a badger, like, I understand to get them to be in the same space, there needs to be a little bit of suspension of disbelief. But at the same time, a badger's way fucking bigger than a mouse. Like, no matter what. And so I feel like you remember when A Bug's Life and Ants both came out within like a year of each other?
And then one of them sucked and one of them didn't. Yeah, I remember.
So Ants, the movie Ants, did a much better job with like the size disparity within the insect world. And termites and wasps were fucking huge compared to ants, because they are. And so I feel like that whole series could benefit more from that, and having a more accurate biology, and even making a video game out of it in like a big open world or anything. I think that'd be really cool.
Well, like kind of in the spirit of like was it called Nini no Kun or whatever, the Studio Ghibli style video game.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just looked it up. So did you see that it looks like last year Netflix acquired full adaptation rights to Redwall?
Yes, I did. I was aware of that.
And we were talking about earlier, before we were recording, Over the Garden Wall, which is a cartoon series. The creator of Over the Garden Wall is going to be creating that.
I mean, they both have wall in the title, so it's a good match.
Just wall-based media. That's
yeah.
Just without Mark Wahlberg, because it's not the right spelling.
Well, that's fair.
But could you imagine like Mark Wahlberg as the voice of like one of these badgers?
I am still struggling. If we're talking about video game adaptations and
are you about to say
shit,
Chris Pratt Mario?
No, fucking Mark Wahlberg as Sully in the Uncharted movie.
Yeah.
I said the same thing about Tom Holland though, because he's way young to be like Nathan
I was willing to give Tom Holland. I say this completely without having seen the movies yet, because I just haven't watched them yet. But yeah, fucking Marky Mark is Sully. I struggle with that.
I get it. So speaking of like casting decisions, I actually had this on my notes at work, and I'm glad that we got into this because it makes me remember it. Right now, there's some stuff going on with Ezra Miller getting into some trouble, and the DC's talking about getting rid of him as Flash.
He's been getting into problems in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, they have been getting into problems.
Right.
Even though they are problematic, I'm going to do my best.
I didn't know they were non-binary. I don't no idea. I'm not as in tune. Sorry. I don't know celebrity stuff as well as everybody.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Nothing here is out of malicious intent, and we all know that. The thing that I wanted to bring up is I, at one point, had a fan cast for what I thought would be the perfect Justice League movie.
Okay.
And for the Flash, and I still think, even now, I think he would be a good Flash, and I wonder if you guys would share this sentiment. Do you know, if I say the name Seann William Scott, do you know who I'm talking about?
No. Not off the top of my head.
I'm looking.
Stifler from American Pie.
Yes. I could see that as like Barry Allen level Flash for sure.
Yeah, because he's really quippy, and like in real life, he's really like kind of quiet and antisocial.
Yeah.
And after I saw Goon for sure, I was like, I think he would be a good Flash because he's A, still in shape, and B, he's not that old. He's like maybe late 40s, early
Right.
50s. So I think he would be a good
I can get
Flash.
behind that. God, his fucking jawline is aerodynamic as shit.
But yeah, that was one. And I actually think in my in my fan cast at the time, this was 2008, keep in mind.
Okay.
At the time, I think I had Mark Wahlberg on there somewhere, and I can't remember where. He was either like a backup for Green Lantern, or maybe as like I can't remember the other one. But
Not
yeah,
not to be
I had
that
him
guy,
in there
but
somewhere.
I feel obliged to point out that 2008 was 14 years ago.
Why would you do that?
I'm just saying. I just need to like have that context in my brain.
Man,
I have to do that math because if you say 2008, I'll be like, oh yeah, a couple years ago.
No.
I mean, technically, it was a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was a couple of 7 years ago.
Decade ago.
7.
Damn it.
I was 9 in 2008. If anybody was wondering.
But so another thing that I saw, it was today. Kevin Smith, I don't know if he wants to or if he just said it would be cool, but he was like, a live action Batman Beyond would make $1 billion.
Yes, it would.
It would for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if they cast the right Terry McGinnis and if they brought back Michael Keaton as old Batman.
Mhm.
I mean, Michael Keaton is old Batman, and then who would in the most recent Batman, Twilight,
Oh, Robert Pattinson?
would have been a better cast for Batman Beyond.
No.
I
You don't think so?
I don't see
No,
it,
because he's not a Terry. If you're gonna get a Terry, you got to get someone that's charismatic and funny. Because
Who would you get
that
for
version of
Who
Batman,
would you do?
dude, you might hate this, but I don't care. Dylan O'Brien.
Okay.
Dylan O'Brien
No, yeah. I can get
from
behind it.
Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Are we just plucking people out of teenage stuff and making them be Batman?
Well,
That's what I
he's in his late 20s now. I think he's like
Yeah.
26, 27, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he could still play that age if he shaves his face. And then
Right.
not only that, I've seen him in less serious stuff and I've seen him in serious stuff. I think he can handle it. Plus, he did that action movie a couple years back and he like went and learned like gun safety and Trigun. So, like, I think he could do good.
Yeah, I'll give that to you.
Oh, speaking of perfect castings,
Let's do it.
did you guys see who they casted to be young Percy Jackson in this new Disney Plus series?
No, who'd they do?
Because I lost
It's-
faith after the
No, dude, I'm telling you, this kid is perfect.
Oh, okay, all right.
He's 12. He's 12 years old. He's
Wow.
not like Logan Lerman was, where he was 19 playing a 12-year-old.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So he's 12, but he's in that movie, The Atom Project. It's the only thing he's done so far.
Okay.
And there's a video of him circulating around where it's him doing like a mac and cheese commercial, and he's basically playing a younger version of Ryan Reynolds. And he's like, if
Oh,
your mom
yeah.
doesn't make you this, she doesn't fucking love you.
Whoa.
Amazing.
Yeah, like I think he's gonna be great.
That's
Well, I have
awesome.
a controversial opinion. Hashtag Velveeta gang.
No,
You look so upset that I said that.
He really does.
it's not even real.
And Kraft is?
It's not real.
Fuck
He-
on
it's a
somewhere with that.
You don't even have to refrigerate that shit.
Video games aren't real either.
Kraft is like no more real. What do you mean? What? He looked so upset that I said Velveeta gang just now. Aren't you lactose intolerant anyway? You'd like it to be not real, right? That's the goal.
Oh man, shots fired in the fake cheese camp.
I didn't know it was such a big deal. He looks so upset.
My bowels would appreciate not real cheese. My tongue does not. I don't even like cheese that much. I'm to the point in my life now where even a mac and cheese that I would have eaten 10, 12 years ago, where I was like actively like, oh yeah, I want some mac and cheese. I'll crush some pepper on top of it, whatever. I can't even eat 2 bites of a mac and cheese now without being like, this fucking sucks. Like, this is bad. And even a homemade mac and cheese where they're like, oh yeah, it's got Gruyere and it's got white American. I made it from scratch. I baked it. I put the
I love your
breadcrumbs on
voice
top. It's
for that.
delicious.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, he was like becoming
It's like a Midwestern mom.
mom.
Yeah,
I,
just-
I,
yeah, and it's just like, oh yeah, I made it from scratch. It's
I
so
could
good.
see
It's got
the live,
it's
laugh,
got
love
heavy
sign.
cream in it.
yeah.
Oh man. And my opinion of this is not very live, laugh, love of me, but it fucking sucks. I can't stand mac and cheese, dude. I can't do it.
Okay.
Okay, weird plug, but I'm gonna go on record.
Oh no.
Arby's, fucking Arby's, has a
Uh-huh.
white cheddar mac and cheese
I didn't know that.
that is surprisingly good for a fast food restaurant.
Okay.
I will put the qualifiers on there.
All right.
I believe that Nate and I have had conversations about Arby's, and I'm under the impression that he fosters a hatred for Arby's.
Me?
Go on.
Is that right?
Not a hatred, just it's not even a dislike. I enjoy Arby's. I don't enjoy getting price gouged. I
Fair.
don't like that. Yeah, I don't like how much they charge, and they're all right. I like their advertising's good. It's always like nerdy.
Yeah.
I enjoy that part. I don't know. You put a McDonald's and an Arby's next to each other. I'm going to the McDonald's 9 times out of 10.
That's fair.
I gotta really want that beef and cheddar. If I'm gonna go.
They lost me for about a year because they got rid of the chicken cordon bleu sandwich, which was my go-to.
That's a favorite of Cherry's mom.
My very first job was at an Arby's. I discovered while working there, Arby's has 2 sauces that are unparalleled. One being the 3-pepper sauce. It's one of the best fast food sauces ever made, and I will die on that hill.
All right.
The second sauce that they have that is unparalleled is called Bronco Buster Berry. It's like a raspberry barbecue sauce that's so fire.
We have a bunch of that in our cabinet right now because they keep giving it to us, or they had it.
Dude, it goes good on everything. You dip their waffle fries in that, game over.
You guys are making me want Arby's. I thought it was curly fries with them, not waffle.
They have waffle. They have curly fries, waffle fries, and they have potato triangles.
I like their.
hash browns.
They have that like mocha milkshake thing. What's it called?
Jamocha?
Jamocha shake.
Boom, that one. Really good. Really good. Like I said, I don't hate them, but they're expensive. Man.
You're talking to 2 bona fide Midwesterners here. If we both can,
Jamocha!
we've got the whole Arby's menu.
Immediately.
It's up here. I could go up to Arby's and be like, I need a number 12. And they're like, oh, so you want the turkey sandwich? And I'm like, yes, but don't put any mayonnaise on there.
Yeah, we talked about that. So does that mean I can rag on you guys when you talk about In-N-Out? You guys know how to order from the secret menu?
I do know how, but I've never been to it.
You mean double animal style?
That's not really like a secret menu item anymore.
It's technically a secret menu.
Technically, yeah, I guess.
Just because they like having it that way.
Those are lower qualifying. Okay. That's okay. I'm impressed. I'm slowly moving my way towards the Midwest, as you can see. I've gone from California to Utah.
Drifting.
I'm like headed that way.
You're like a year and a half away from just like finding yourself in the middle of Missouri.
I was
like,
just about to say.
what is Lion's Choice?
Good.
And I'll be like, Lion's Choice is the superior Arby's. Welcome.
Cut to 2024, and he's Nebraska Nate. Here we are at the Piggly Wiggly.
Does Nebraska have Piggly Wigglies? I thought that was a
Dude,
southern
I have
thing.
no idea how far the Piggly Wiggly reaches.
I just got brought to my attention the other day that apparently there's a convenience store. And honestly, at this point, I think all 3 of us are within range. Nate might not be. But, Mister, do you have a Casey's near you?
Yes.
Okay.
I've never heard of that.
So Casey's, they advertise themselves not as a gas station, but as a pizza chain that sells gas.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, that's a nice approach.
Their pizza legit is fire.
Okay.
I'm not even lying to you. It's so good.
He's not wrong.
Okay.
Kind of in the same vein as like a Casey's or like a 7-Eleven, I guess. There's a store that's like getting really popular called Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
And I
I've
just heard about it recently.
I've heard of Buc-ee's.
So yeah, I know nothing about it, but I just like it got brought up to me the other day, and then I saw a video of it like 2 days later. Obviously, that's got to be like some microphone listening shit, but
like Craig,
because I didn't look it up. I was like, yeah, I don't care enough, and then I saw it, and I was like, damn, that is a big convenience store. Like it's the size of a Target.
Yeah, it's like a Walmart that just has a really big gas station out front.
Yeah,
It's like a Walmart.
yeah, for sure.
A lot of Walmarts do.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Really can get everything there.
And now I gotta decide where I'm going for dinner later because I haven't eaten.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna eat either. My girlfriend's been on a Chinese food kick, and I just recently. Okay, here's the deal about where I live. So
So what's with
I'm
that
not gonna-
airline food?
So what's with the airline food?
Make your green screen background a brick wall real quick before you go on.
I can't. I don't have Discord.
Damn it.
Bummer.
That would be funny though. Imagine if I did like a stand-up comedy stream where I did make it look like a brick wall
Get a
and like
self-worth.
did stand-up comedy. Get oh no, Mister, you'll have to stop by for Jackbox night one night. It's wild.
I will.
It's a good time.
What I was gonna say. So where I live in the St. Louis metropolitan area. It's a big enough area. You couldn't pick me out of a crowd. Food in this area in general, like whether or not it's culturally based or just like cuisine based. So like Italian food, Mexican food, Chinese food, it's all like the worst version of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Mexican food, you're gonna have like all of your chain restaurants marketed towards the average American consumer that doesn't know the difference between different types of Mexican food.
Mhm.
Chinese food up here, every single restaurant I've been to has been overly sweet. Everything that I touch
sucks with
is
Chinese
fucking
food, dude.
sweet.
That sucks. It sucks when you go to order like orange chicken and also teriyaki, and they both taste like they have sweet glaze. It's ridiculous.
So here's the deal. I don't even eat orange chicken. That's too sweet for me
Yeah.
when it comes to Chinese food.
Agreed.
Like when I think of Chinese food, I'm thinking I want savory and I want MSG
Right. So
all day long.
yeah.
All day.
I found a restaurant that is 2 minutes from my house, and it is the closest thing I've gotten to Chinese food that doesn't suck.
Mhm.
Like, granted, it wasn't perfect, but it was good enough for the area that I left a review that was like
Huh.
two paragraphs long, and at the end of it, I capped it off with like, if they keep the quality up, this will be my new favorite Chinese restaurant.
Nice. Well, first of all, the fact that you went out of your way to write a review must have meant that it was
Yeah, for sure.
baller, dude. Because I don't even
Oh,
do that
yeah.
often.
So, okay, so speaking of food, and then also on the same token, Nate came into the podcast today from doing some gardening work. I have been like slowly transitioning into getting into gardening out of like literally kind of from nowhere. I love cooking. Cooking's one of my favorite things to do. And one of my favorite foods is it's a Mexican dish, and it's called, I'm gonna say it the white way, chili Colorado. Chile Colorado. Delicious.
Mhm.
It's like a pepper sauce with steak. I haven't found a good one anywhere near me. I've tried like 19 different restaurants that have it. There's not a
I'm
single
gonna
good
bring
one.
you out to San Diego.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm down to go anywhere where there's good chili Colorado for sure. But the reason I started thinking about gardening is like, I'm just gonna go out there and grow guajillos. So that way I can make my own chili
I'll
Colorado.
do it myself.
Dude, we got several types of peppers out in the garden. They go hand in hand, dude. And you can't beat the taste. It's not the same as the grocery. No, you can't beat it. When you grow it yourself.
Well, the thing is, for chile, you would have to you basically have to dehydrate it, and then you have to rehydrate it in beef broth, and then you blend it.
We have a dehydrator.
I also have a dehydrator.
Yeah. So. Oh man, Stephanie, Cherry's dad makes beef jerky.
Yeah, you've told me this, but
So, oh my, it's so.
Does he make mummy jerky?
No, stop it. None of that.
oh man, but
For
You
mummy?
guys are making me so hungry.
we can call it here pretty quick. I don't know how long we've been recording exactly, but I'm also getting I'm getting there.
Getting
I'm
there.
on the verge of hunger.
Yeah.
I could eat.
Oh fuck, I'm getting there.
You can eat. That's like
in
the.
the closet. I could eat. Yeah.
Are you R. Kelly right now? Are you trapped in the closet?
No, dude,
No,
no.
I was thinking
Absolutely
more
not.
I love the Rallies slogan. Do you guys know Rallies? The food place?
I know rallies. I don't know the
I know
slogan.
rallies. I don't
It's
slogan.
you gotta eat. That's their fucking slogan. time I hear it, I imagine someone like locked in a basement and someone has carried in a tray of food and like thrown it down in front of them and they've pushed it away. And they're like, no, fuck you. And the person's just standing there in the door like, you gotta eat. Like, that's what I hear.
You're gonna eat this burger with fries on it or else.
Rallies. You gotta eat.
There's not even an or else. It's kind of like
you have to or you will die. That's their marketing. If you don't eat, you'll die. So you might as well eat rallies.
Very good.
That's hilarious. That being said, when I go to the grocery store and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make something with fries. Recently, I've been buying the Rallies and Checkers fries for sure. They're so good.
I mean, you gotta eat. So
Nice.
You gotta eat, bro.
Sponsored by Rallies.
Milktown.
Oh,
You gotta
also,
eat.
not a sponsor.
No, we're not.
But speaking of that,
They're
now
not.
that you've come to Milktown, you visited,
I have.
you've wandered around, you've meandered the streets. The last guest that we had on, we offered him a governmental position within Milktown.
Oh my.
Is there any sort of political position that you would like to inhabit?
He's the royal milk clown.
Is well, since clearly I'm handling all the sponsorship deals perfectly, is treasurer available? Can I be the treasurer of Milktown?
Yeah.
Treasurer is available.
Sure.
All right, I'll be in contact with Rallies and I'll see about getting that sponsorship as treasurer of Milktown.
Okay, so that's so funny. I've been trying to think of this word all week, and I had to Google the first part of it. So I typed in city, C-O-M-P.
Okay.
The word I couldn't think of was comptroller.
Yes.
And the role of comptroller, they oversee accounting and financial reporting procedures. So literally, you're the comptroller.
I'll take that too. I put the troll in comptroll.
Hell
for
yeah! We're gonna.
That'll be my tagline.
Your office is on Nilbog Street.
Sounds good.
That's a Troll 2 reference.
We need a map.
We do. We need a
We'll
layout.
start mapping this place out.
I've been daydreaming maps. I can't draw them. I'm no cartographer, nor do I have drafting experience. But something I would like to do. Have been thinking about it. There's some other stuff that I've been thinking about as well in terms of audience involvement. More than likely, it'll roll out as long as this podcast continues to grow. As long as there's interest, we will do it. So
We're looking at you, Pale Crayon. Yeah,
yeah,
we see you.
specifically Pale
We hear
Crayon,
you.
who thinks my shoes stink.
And we're also looking at you, Josh.
I have a friend named Josh. I don't think he listens to the show though.
Well, if he does, he just freaked out. So
Yeah, I'm gonna send this episode to him specifically and be like, dude, we were talking about
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
he's gonna have to listen to the whole thing
For that
the last
little
5
bit.
minutes. I just say Josh randomly. Also, anybody else out there who knows a Josh, send this to
But
Josh.
don't timestamp it. Just make them listen.
Yeah, send this to the Josh in your life. No, I appreciate you stopping by today.
Yeah,
It was
dude.
fun having you on. We
It's been a great time.
had some interesting conversation about kangaroo
Yeah,
testicles.
holy moly.
And kangaroo testicles, eating mummies, clown eggs. It's been a good time.
This
I-
went about
I
as
loved it.
well as I thought it would. No one missed her.
I was excited to have you on. You were literally the first person I asked.
Well, I'm
to
glad
be
I
a
lived
guest.
up to the
Yeah,
hype.
he didn't even ask me to be a guest before he asked you, and I'm pretty offended.
Ah, well, you'll be all right.
You're not a guest. You're the other superior milkman. You're the co-host.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you stopping by. It was very cool having you
Anytime.
here today. And on that note, whatever. Find out on the next episode of Milktown whether or not we actually can
Outstanding.
count.
I take no part in that. I'll know from now on.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You're in charge of counting. That's your shit.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I will. Hold on. I'm opening up a spreadsheet right now. Here we go.
spread them.
This cell
Spread 'em.
equals A1 through A7 equals. It just says
Done.
0. I haven't put anything in the other cells.
According to this this episode is number ! Error. I don't know what that number that means.
Well, that would be the square root of -1, as we are all imaginary.
Ah, yes, there we go.
I'll let you guys
Okay.
sit with that one for a while. I'm
You say
nostalgia
the
Nate.
square root of -1?
Yep, that is I, the imaginary number.
Oh,
That is you?
Yes,
okay.
You're the imaginary number?
sure. I know how to answer that.
You kind of just blew my mind there. I feel imaginary now.
Oh god, yeah, no, the square root of -1 is legitimately
Yeah, it's the
Alright.
imaginary number.
It's all good.
Imaginary.
But yeah, I'm Sonny Says Stuff. This has been an episode of Milktown with
nostalgia Nate.
and our guest today, couple of co-ops. I will link all of their socials that they want. So probably just Twitch and maybe their Discord server. Everyone, have a great fucking week.
Fuck.